What's up, y'all? It's GT Junior Grows in Alaska. I go by many different names, but because of my YouTube channel, that's what I refer to. Some of y'all know me from different names, but just wanted to show y'all just a little bit of Alaska really quick, and then we can move on to the topic at hand. This is actually what I see today. Alaska is very, very beautiful. There's snow everywhere, but as you see, those mountains are very captivating. Yeah, we got a Taco Bell. Yeah, so this is what we see daily. It's a lot of snow. But I just wanted to show y'all that. My topic today is basically, I wanted to let y'all know that to grow some food. I ain't telling you what to do, I'm just giving you a little bit of advice. You know how sometimes people will give you advice and you're like, man, I don't need to take that. I'm just saying. It's a lot of things going on in the world. Inflation has been here since the beginning of time. You know, that's taxes that got that actually were put on businesses and things like that. There's always some type of revenue that's going back into the conditioning and the functioning of the world, your specific country, or it's just gonna always happen. Inflation is 6% from what I heard every year. I remember when gas was like 79 cents a gallon. So that means that I can cut grass, charge $5, and you know, if it took me just an hour to do it, that means that I made my money back really quick. So how things are now, we see that what is required for us to have a sustainable life is going up. We can't stay at a standstill. We have to actually move towards increasing everything about us. Not just money, but health as well. And one of those ways to increase your health is to actually grow. Now, everybody can grow different things at different times, and that's why it's called grow zones. Grow zone provide a little bit of information to assist you with growing food. Now, you can alleviate all of that pressure by doing things indoors. They have these hydroponic gardens, aero gardens, that are $30 to $40 a piece. You buy the seeds that are 25 cents a pack, 20 cents a pack from Wally World and you see Family Dollar and other institutions and stuff like that. And you can plant some of those. Some of those seeds can do very well in those systems. But we have to get more control over the food that we consume. We have to. The food that we actually consume is, let me give y'all a little different view while I'm driving. The food that we actually consume is, you come out here a little big truck, front load or something like that, I don't know. But there's a lot of recalls that had happened in the last year. Lettuce, listeria, all kinds of things, salmonella, all of these things are factors in our everyday life. The wax that they're putting on the apples, the things, the seedless grapes, the seedless watermelons, all of these things are profits over people. So you have to remember that. It's just like that girl that used to love you, or that dude that used to love you, and they don't love you the same. The way you show love is show. And it seems like that love is not the same as it was 10 years ago. I'm going to base it off of 10 years ago. So there are a lot of people that, you know, people sell plates and, you know, all across the world. Just imagine if you was able to cut some of your overhead costs, you know, your ROI, return on investment, by planting a garden. Instead of buying your collard greens from the store, you can actually grow them in your yard. Instead of your turnips, your strawberries, your plums, your pears, and stuff like that, you can change a lot of that by, let's turn back around. You can change a lot of that by, you know, growing your own garden. there are some learning curves when it comes down to growing, but this is just you taking control over some of the things that you consume. I'm putting myself in a position to where hopefully in 5 years I'm able to buy some land somewhere. Why? Because I see that the world is only going at an incline as far as what they demanded from us to actually live. Interest rates are going up. Everything is going up. And our jobs, we're like this. Then we get a little bump in the raise or whatever. And then that extra money goes into something else. So we're at an even keel to where we're not even actually able to save as much. We're not able to give our babies, our children, as much as we should. We don't have, some of us don't have life insurance policies. So we have to give our children the future more. Because a lot of us, to be honest, we're not going to be here in 50 more years. 50 more years because of our diets. Because I just had a zebra cake yesterday. But because of our diets, our longevity is probably not going to be as much as our parents. Yes, we have modern medicine, but we're eating different foods that aren't the same as when our grandparents were alive. Our grandparents, they was in the sun more. There's a lot of factors that we have to take in consideration to be here for our children, to offer wisdom to them. So that's what I'm actually looking at. So just remember, we can have more control over the things that we consume. I've been teaching my son and my wife more about the grocery store is a convenience. What we need to get back to is the fact that growing food is the way that we're supposed, that's where food comes from. It's from our gardens. And the convenience store is what we do when we don't have, or we need, or we ran out. So just teaching these life lessons. There's a lot of different things like tobacco and all of these other things, alcohol, clothing, medicine, all of these things came from the garden, and then companies bought, altered, and resold you the product, and they give it to you the way they want to give it to you. Remember the 3 laws, my 3 laws of business, let's say it like that. Get the money, keep the money, and keep getting the money. As long as those 3 factors are entailed, they're going to keep on doing what they're doing. Things are not going to stop. Things will level out, and it doesn't matter who's in the presidency. Those things are not factors. We have to take control today of what we want from us. If we want, I believe that I deserve better. I believe that I deserve to have oranges. Remember back in the days when we used to get the apples and the oranges in the bag, and we used to get that for Christmas, and how good that felt? Because it was real good. You had, the oranges used to drip down your cheek and your lip because it was so juicy. Now look at the oranges of today. Some of them don't even have seeds in them. Same thing with watermelon. Watermelon does not have the same, they done carefully selected the watermelons to give them the best product to where they are, to where we have to depend on them. Now we depend on them for a lot of different fruits and vegetables because we don't get it. And me being in Alaska tells a different story. Why? Hold on. It tells a different story. Me being in Alaska tells the story of, actually, I do not get the freshest produce here because we're so far removed from the lower 48. It also gives us limited selections because we're here. In certain parts of the United States, I can speak from parts of Georgia, from when I used to live there. Georgia, we had the watermelon man, and he would have the watermelon and other fruits and stuff, and it was real good and all that stuff. I don't have a watermelon truck here, so I have to produce things indoors. So that is the difference between me being in Alaska and me living in the lower 48 is my things are different because I can't produce the way others produce because of our climate. Our climate is a lot different. We have to get more control over the food that we consume. You spend $40, $50 on a machine that's a hydroponics machine in the same fashion as an aero garden. They have them online. You can create your own dill, cucumbers, whatever you want to do. There is a way to grow it indoors. I do a lot of indoor gardening because I don't want to be, if you control a person's food, their shelter, their water, you got them. You got them. So why give somebody that much power? We shouldn't have to do that. Being the great man that I am, from a beautiful lineage that I love, I want to take a little bit more control. Now I'm gonna start going on Facebook a lot more just to deliver these messages so that everybody understands that, look, this is what I'm trying to do. If you have questions, some of them I can answer, some of them I can't answer, and sometimes Google is just a button away. What is my growth zone? And then you put in your melon zip code. Mine's is 99507. I put that in there and it tells me when my first frost date, my last frost date, and then I start to look at seeds and then I invest in that. And if I still don't understand it, then I can ask questions. But we have to put our own due diligence in there. That's what I'm saying. As citizens of this world, as occupiers of the land, we are to produce. And I want to produce, I want to give myself more health. And with more health means that I have to consume things that are more beneficial to me. But that is my message. I went live yesterday, had just a quick little message. This is a 12-minute video, and I just want to tell y'all, grow some food. That's all. Ain't that gonna change? I'm serious. I got chickens now. I'm trying to do something, y'all. Some of this stuff, you just look it up. We don't have to be like everybody else. We don't. We can get back to the things that made us even more healthier than our counterparts. The people that were in business. Do you know meat used to be a disease that was, some of the diseases was associated with meat that kings and queens used to get long time ago? Now we done made it an everyday thing that we consume. And now we're having all these problems with artery problems, just all kinds of things. Mad cat, it's just a lot of different things. We need to get back to what made us those people. I remember where you would only get meat maybe twice a week or whatever. And everything else was consumables that we got, like baked butter beans. I remember back in the days when I was living in the can, we used to take this stick. What up with your Uncle Chevy? My Uncle Chevy and a couple of my other uncles, they would take this stick and they would throw the stick into the pecan tree, and then it'll go up and, you know, and we had that. So let's get back to what we should be teaching our kids. The grocery store is a convenience. Now, it's going to take time for us to be able to produce enough products to where we can actually say that. But actually having something to where your kids are more familiar with, oh yeah, remember my mom did this, or I remember my dad doing that. So let's get back to it. I'm sorry about my hands, y'all. I wash my hands a whole lot, and I didn't put my lotion in here, but that's all I want to say. All right, y'all. Like I always say on my YouTube channel, trust the process, all right? I'm GT Jr., and I holla. Yo.